Next, we have Connor B, and y'all, I am just over the guitar and I am over the singing. But we're probably gonna see it all season because they get really bored in Paradise. Hi everyone, my name's Dimitri and welcome back to DimitriTube. Katie Thurston season is finally over and Paradise has started. Let's talk about it. As always, if you're enjoying my videos, please go ahead and pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. I'm a growing YouTuber and the likes and subscribes really help me out. Before I dive into the review, I do need to go over a couple things. First thing, and this is probably the most important part, me, along with you all, are on the hunt for the next possible Bachelor. I really hope that there is a standout from this season of Paradise because I really do not want Michael A as Bachelor. And more than likely, they are gonna pick someone from Paradise or a previous season because Michelle's season starts in October and I'm pretty sure by that point they need to have a Bachelor picked out because I think they're planning to start filming in the fall and then air the next season of The Bachelor at the start of the new year. So while you're watching Paradise, make sure you are on the lookout for your next Bachelor. Okay, next up, I say this every season. If I do not see a connection between one of your favorite couples, it just means that I do not see a connection based on what I'm viewing on my TV screen. It is not a personal attack against someone's character. So if I say I do not see a connection with one of your favorites, please do not drag me in the comments. It is nothing personal. Next, I am giving Paradise the good old college try. Last time I watched Paradise in 2019, I thought it was kind of boring and I really thought the producers were reaching for storylines. But I'm gonna try it again and I'm gonna give it the good old college try. Also for Paradise, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna do outfit of the episode, but if I do see outfits I like, I will point them out. I just don't really like beach fashion. I much prefer the cocktail dresses and the over-the-top gowns you see on Bachelor and Bachelorette. Next, I have been reviewing the show Fboy Island on HBO Max, so if you're looking for another reality dating show and want to see some more of my reviews, definitely check that out. The first 5 reviews are already uploaded and all of the episodes for Fboy Island are out now on HBO Max. If you enjoy my Bachelor content, you're probably gonna enjoy my Fboy Island content, so definitely check it out if you have not already. And lastly, just a really quick word on Katie Thurston. I know y'all are over her and the season's over, but I do just have to say one thing. So Katie Thurston is apparently moving to San Diego. So during her season when she was like, I'll move to Canada, I'll move to Africa, I'll go wherever, that was all total BS. So basically, she said all of that for clout. And for that, she is my first not here for the right reasons of the season.
I just feel like you're not here for the right reasons.
Also, that photo shoot Blake did where he copied Katie Thurston's photo shoot was an absolute mess and it's really upsetting me and my homegirls.
It's upsetting me and my homegirl.
Okay, and that's all I have to say. Let's dive into the episode. Okay, so just a heads up for this review, I'm gonna talk more so about people in different situations. It may not necessarily be in chronological order. The episode kept doing a lot of jumping from back and forth, so for this review, it just may not be in order. The episode starts with cast introductions. I don't know who said this on the episode, but somebody said it was just like the first day of school. And it's true, there was like no drama this episode, and basically they were just introducing everyone. Now, there are a lot of people in Paradise, and I'm not gonna go over everyone. I'm just gonna go over the introductions that I found interesting. So no shade, if I don't mention someone, I just didn't have anything to talk about for them. So first up is Brendan. He is very attractive, but I am not a fan of Brendan. I just feel like he's there to advance his modeling career. So during his introduction, he says, I realized how broken I was as a man and the healing I needed to do. And I just thought that was total BS. So I'm not gonna go over the details because it's just gonna be too long for this video, but I'll post a link to the video below where he eliminates himself on Tayshia's season and I explain why I think he's there for his modeling career. Next is Tahzjuan. Her makeup looked really good. Next up is Ivan. So I like Ivan, but I just feel like he's too classy for this and I just don't think he's gonna excel at Paradise. I just feel like he'd be better off trying to find love in the real world and not through The Bachelor. Maybe he's over his day job and just wants to be an influencer or something. What do y'all think? Let me know below in the comments. Next is Victoria, and y'all, I just need to give a round of applause to Victoria. Now, I'm sure a lot of y'all do not like Victoria, but Victoria understood the assignment. Victoria lost weight, she's giving us a new hair look, and so far her outfits look a lot better, and I'm not mad. Also, she'll probably bring drama if the show gets boring. So I'm really curious to see how she does in Paradise. So later on in the episode, Victoria explains that she wants a guy to come up to her instead of her trying to go up to a guy. So I totally get it. The girls want to abide by the traditional rules of courtship and have the guys approach them. But given this situation, I do not think that is a good strategy. I think if you're not getting attention, you definitely need to approach the guys. Wells says there will be 3 women going home, and if you want to stay on the show, you got to try to build a connection even if none of the guys approach you. And the sooner the better, because time is against you. Also, in my opinion, this is not a very alpha group of men that they have to start out with. James, Aaron, Ivan, and Grocery Store Joe are just not the type of guys to me that start the approach. To me, they're more the type, they have the women gravitate more towards them. Second thing I want to mention about this, when Victoria said she doesn't want to approach the guys, to me it came off a little insecure. So this is not me trying to be shady, I'm just being honest. Victoria does not have the typical bachelorette body. She does not look bad in any way. She's just not one of these super skinny girls. And on Matt's season, she even says that she dealt with insecurities in terms of her body. And now that all the skinny girls are getting attention and she's not, the insecurities are starting to show a little bit. And last thing I want to say, so Bachelor Nation is constantly preaching for more diversity on this show and Bachelor and Bachelorette. And now we're getting a little more body diversity, but it sucks to watch because Victoria is there, but she's not getting any attention from the guys. Like, yes, I get it, you're adding more diversity, but the guys who go on this show tend to like skinnier girls. And you're adding diversity, but you're doing it at the expense of someone's feelings. And I just don't like that. Anyways, moving on. Next is Kenny. And Kenny looks gorgeous. His body is like perfect. And by the way, if you want to see his nudes, they are on the internet and I'll post a link to it below. Hopefully YouTube does not take me off the algorithm for adding that link below. Now, I am glad that Kenny is on the show, but I will say I am slightly surprised because he's 40 years old. Now, there is nothing wrong with being 40 years old and dating younger women, but the majority of women who are going to be casted on this Paradise season are mid-20s or even younger. And I was just surprised that ABC was down with that. Next, we have Connor B, and y'all, I am just over the guitar and I am over the singing. But we're probably going to see it all season because they get really bored in Paradise. Next, they introduce Grocery Store Joe. Who? Apparently, everyone knows this man except for me, but after watching the episode, I'm not even gonna bother Googling him. He's awkward, he's annoying, and on the first day, he already wanted to go home because he wasn't over his ex, and I'm just like, dude, if you don't want to be there, just go home. Please stop making this a storyline. Next, we have Abigail, and she walks in and is starstruck by David Spade. I mean, to each his own. Next, we have Natasha. I think Natasha is too classy for this show. Natasha is down to earth, she's reasonable, and she's no drama. So that leaves me thinking, why did you come on this show? But in her defense, she lives in New York City, and I'm sure finding love there is a nightmare, so I totally get it. And lastly, my baby James. Y'all, James was looking so good, and I am so happy that he is back. Now, before I dive into talking about the one-on-ones, y'all, I just gotta say, in my opinion, this group of guys sucks. James, Tre, Noah, and Aaron all got on Paradise because they started drama their original seasons. And then Brendan, Connor, and Grocery Store Joe are all just kind of lame to me. Carl is whack, and then Brendan, I just don't think he's there for the right reasons. And then Kenny, I think he's very attractive, but I feel like a lot of these girls who are in their mid-20s are not going to want someone who's 40. So when it comes to this initial group of guys, I just don't think it's a great pick. Also, other than James, I don't really find any of them like super attractive. Other than James, there's really no other guy I'm just salivating for when he comes on screen. And just one last thing, Kenny is probably the most ripped one out of all of them, aside from James. And I'm just like, what have these guys been doing? They knew the assignment was Paradise. The only excuse I can see is that a lot of these guys are from Katie's season, and the end of Katie's season to the start of this one, there just was not a lot of time. But all of the other guys literally have no excuse. Also, in general, one of the toughest things about being on Paradise is that you're pretty much in a swimsuit the entire time, and there are cameras everywhere, so your confidence needs to be through the roof. Okay, so the first one-on-one I want to talk about is with Mari and Kenny. So I actually do think that Mari and Kenny are a good match, but during their one-on-one, Mari asks Kenny what he likes to do for fun. And Kenny responds, I like to have coffee and chill. Now, for someone who goes into Paradise with a grand naked entrance, He's pretty boring. Also, I don't think Kenny was naked. I think he just had on a really tiny swimsuit and production just told everyone to go along with it. Let's be real, y'all. This is 2021 and we're in the post-Me Too movement. If Kenny really came in naked, I think someone would try to accuse him of harassment or an unwanted sexual advance. The next one-on-one we have is with Noah and Abigail, and they get the first date card. For their date, they go to a room full of piñatas and they talk for a bit, and then they get to break some of the piñatas. So I liked watching them enjoy the date more than I did their conversation. Also, I don't really see them together. Noah kind of seems like a starter boyfriend or like a first boyfriend for Abigail. I really don't see a lifetime of love here. And during the date, Abigail tells Noah that she likes to move slow. And I'm just like, sweetie, if you like to move slow, paradise is not the place for you. When they were talking, I was on team Noah for this one. In this situation, you are on a beach all day and you can dedicate all of your time to dating and getting to know someone. You don't have any distractions. You don't have work. You don't have errands. You don't have other responsibilities. Your sole focus is dating. And on top of that, you can spend all day with the other person if you want to and really use that time to get to know one another. If anything, if you don't use that time to get to know someone, you're practically wasting it. And last thing, in general, when it comes to this show, it's better to pair off sooner than later. Don't always wait for that next person to come down the stairs. You really cannot let FOMO make you miss out on a great person. Then after that, Noah tells Abigail that she's guarded and withholding from him. So I just felt like Noah was just not that into her, but he didn't want to say that because he was trying to be nice. I felt like during this date that Noah wasn't being genuine. Like he was very much trying to protect his edit of being a good guy so the internet wouldn't fry him up later. Next, we have a one-on-one with Maurissa and Connor B. Nothing interesting happened here, but they did zoom in on Connor's ring on his ring finger. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it'll be a plot line later. Next, we have a one-on-one with Tre and Tahzjuan. Tre tells Tahzjuan that he's interested in her, and Tahzjuan talks to Tre about previously dating his uncle. So for some reason, Tahzjuan just kept repeating to everyone in Paradise that she dated Tre's uncle, which is not a good look. Like, I really don't understand why she kept doing that. Now, for me, if you dated my uncle, it's gonna be a hard no for me. And on top of that, Tahzjuan in the confessional says that Tre is a better kisser than his uncle. That's an even harder no for me. Like, you're comparing my kissing skills to my uncle's on camera. Like, that's just gross. Next, I just have a really quick word on Deandra and Maurissa. I think I was getting them confused. Did anyone else get them confused when watching the episode? I'm pretty sure Deandra is the one with the blonde braids and then Maurissa is the one with the dark hair. Now, I don't think they look alike and they definitely have different demeanors, but for some reason I was just getting them confused. And lastly, we have a one-on-one with Serena P and Grocery Store Joe. So I'm not necessarily seeing a connection. It just seems like a slightly flirty conversation. Joe is very much giving me the energy like,
oh my god, a 23-year-old is giving me attention.
And for Serena, it seems like to me the gears are turning in her head and she's debating if she wants to date someone who's 12 years older than her. Like, she's intrigued by the idea, but she's not completely sure yet. To me, it seems like Serena wants to have fun and live her newfound influencer lifestyle for a little bit before she settles down, whereas Joe seems like he's ready to settle down now. And he may wait 2 years, but I don't see him waiting until he's 40 to settle down. And just a couple more things before I wrap up this video. So Kelsey, towards the end of the episode, realized nothing was happening for her, so now she feels like she needs to take it on herself to pull these guys. And for this, I'll say the same thing like how I said for Victoria. Waiting for the guys to come to you is just not a good strategy in this situation. You need to go to the guys. Just given this situation, it's a competition, so if you don't want to go home, you need to act. Also, again, this group of guys seems to wait for the women to gravitate towards them. They don't really seem to approach the women much. And lastly, to end the episode, Demi arrives and I was annoyed. And I was even further annoyed that there was no rose ceremony. So I'm just not a fan of Demi. I think she's there for clout. I just did not like how she played Derek on the last season of Paradise. So if I sound a little biased when I talk about her, that's why. And that is the end of the episode and all I have for you. I apologize that this video is like shorter than normal, but there really wasn't much to talk about. As always, if you enjoyed this review, please go ahead and pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell, and I will see you all on the next one. Have a good one. Bye.